All right, Deandre, so after, Austin scores the 51 and you have the kind of mob in front of the bench, he told us one of the most excited moments he had is when you had the offensive rebound, the slam put back is kind of what that symbolized. What does that mean that he's kind of thinking of you and your importance to the team in that context after he drops 50?
AR has been dissecting me a little bit since I got here. I think he's starting to have a feel of my game, how I put my emotions into the game, and I guess he knows, through practice and through training camp. Yeah, if I'm offensive rebounding and dunking the ball, I'm here. I'm playing on edge, just everybody in general just sharing that consistent energy, that it was just so constant throughout the game. And we just had spurts and everybody contributing in their own way. And that was my way, being on the boards early and just, was trying to come out the half pretty strong. And, the game was neck and neck the whole time. So we were trying to break some of that up, and, he gave me the burst I need where, he got my back.
It seemed like you figured something out about the coverages that the Kings were doing on both ends and the pick and roll. And I know that's something you've talked about and focused on, but what did you dissect and what were you able to do with that on both ends?
Really, in the first half, I was really just trying to put pressure on the rim, and then they started blitzing AR. And I started, getting back to my old-fashioned game, playing in the short roll, where's my bread and butter, and, just picking them apart, simple, getting weak side corners. Rory did an amazing cut on one play when I was attacking the rim, and after that, everybody stayed home. It was just one-on-one between me and the low man. And, it's a height advantage. It's probably a guard always going to be the low man. So I was making sure I finish over the top and get high percentage shots. AR was putting me in positions where you don't even need to dribble, basically. Just go up with the ball.
You got to go out there and, be big for the team. And there was no, that wasn't in my head thinking you got to go score 50. It was do whatever you can do to help the team win. And, we played, not just myself, but
I know we just overheard you asking nicely for credit from Austin since you apparently told him to get 50. Can you tell us more? Was it a morning meeting? When did this come out?
It was we was going to bus times. I was telling man, we're going to need 50 for me tonight, you know what I mean? As you can see, he did it, so we challenged him, and he came through.
Well, he claims that Luka texted him this morning asking for 60, but does that mean that he trusts you more than he listened? He stopped it at closer to 50?
Yeah. I think he got right at 50. 60 would have been. We wouldn't have been complaining about 60 either, but shit, either way, that was a hell of a performance.
Yeah, we saw the moment you guys kind of surrounding him close in front of your bench. I'm sure you did it again in the locker room. Is there something about his story or just him as a person, kind of the aw shucks, the undrafted, that builds to that when you see a 50 piece like that?
Man, everything. Obviously we know his story. We know how hard he plays. What he means to us as a team, the city of LA. Watching him come from undrafted and basically get better every single year, which is crazy. Statistically and just as a player as a whole. And obviously there's a lot of chatter around him, so just him stepping up to the plate every single time, man, it's amazing.
Well, there were two other games that when LeBron and Luka both didn't play since Luka was acquired, and I think he had 45 in one and 37 and 13 or something in the other. So I guess it's impressive, but it's not that much of a surprise, I guess, because he does seem to ramp it up in these games.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. We watch him every day in practice. My bad. He always step up to the table when his number's called, and tonight we needed every point that he gave us tonight. And I say it's no surprise from us. We know what he's capable of doing. You can see him even as essentially a third option, what he does night in and night out. So I'm happy to see him get 50. Not a lot of people in this league can do that, so that's impressive, man.
In what ways is he better this year than he was last year?
Just overall. His decision making, his shot making, his pace, everything. He's he got to the line. He was 21 for 22. He's obviously great there at the free throw line and just controlling the game. We found him with some easy ones early on, and then towards the end of the game, he took over, and we trusted him. We got full trust in him. This coaching staff got full trust in him. So I think just that leadership role, I think that's where he grew the most.